Yeah, all the youngins went to boot camp. If Big Dan T-Dog was here, he could attest to this, because he made us do knuckle push-ups in the gravel because he forgot his beret downstairs. Yeah, we did 5 or 6 days of boot camp. They put us in a bus, took us out about an hour and a half outside the city and kind of dropped us off. Nobody was around. My first question was, they know we're actors, right? A bunch of people came yelling out of the building. Yeah, 5 a.m. PT, team building missions, having to climb over stuff, having to bandage people up and carry people back, bed checks, all of that. Assignments, you know, we were all given information about our respective departments. We all had to clue everybody else in on what our departments were. We had to know our stuff, and we had to work together. We trained together, we worked out together, we helped each other out, we ate together just as if we were in an army barracks for 5 days, for 6 days, but it really gave us a sense of the responsibilities and the discipline and the calm necessary to be a soldier.
Also, we had on the set every day.
Right, yeah.
There was always a technical advisor, and they were worth their way to go. So everything that we did was technically correct.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, many high-ranking military leaders have come to me and said, you know, we watched the show, fans of the show. What you guys did was amazing, because it stood true to what the situation is on board a ship and the military does. So they were very happy, and I was very happy that they felt that way. And so thank you for your service to our country too.
Absolutely. We're getting the hook.
Yeah, we got one more. We got over here.
First of all, I just want to say thank you to all of you for being a part of the best fracking show on TV. And my question is for the Admiral. In the scenes when Adama was reading to Rosalind during her cancer treatment, he read to her from Love and Bullets and also Sea Rider Falcon. Mr. Olmos, did you ever wish that either one of those stories was real and you could actually read it to the end?
You know, I fell in love with Mary, and in character, it was an amazing transition because I really didn't like her at the very beginning. It was radical dislike, and so it was. And I'm glad they took the time that they took to really make it work, because it took about 3 seasons before we really started to even look at each other, because we were really vindictive friends. You know, we had a mission that we had to do, get people through this, but we really didn't appreciate each other's company. So to go to that extreme and then go to the other extreme, yeah, I would say that if Mary McDonald was not married, we would be.
You might have to get in line, although, yeah.
So 5 minutes, so we're going to go back over to this side.
First, I just want to say, as a VSG fan, then watching Dexter, that was insane. You were fantastic, and it was very creepy to see the Admiral like that.
I could breathe myself on that ship.
But I wanted to say, wanted to ask, since you guys dealt with some very heavy, like religious and moral issues, and new things were popping up all the time, did you guys realize anything about yourselves or learn anything about yourselves that surprised you?
Well, having to put myself in the presence of mind of choosing to kill myself, I had to ask Kandyse that question, if I was capable of that. And I did a very interesting meditation on death. And I'd always believed that I would not be that kind of person. I love my life. I think of myself as a very positive person. I think from where I've come from and the future that's before me, I'm very hopeful about all those things. But when I really sat down and meditated on it, I realized that I could make that choice under certain circumstances if it meant something to someone. That's something that I would and could do, and that surprised me immensely. I thought my self-preservation skill level was pretty high, but I guess yeah, that was an interesting thing.
Yeah, I got to tell you, the scene where I had to kill the council. You're laughing at that. Yeah, that was.
Just fall inside you. You had to.
No, I got to tell you,
What a choice.
it was the hardest thing, seriously, I've ever done in my life. And you know, initially, they actually had the council supporting me, and I walk out and I tell them to blow them away, right? And I said, no, that could never happen. I said, number one, that would, for me, it confused me because I kept thinking, wait, do you know who Tom Zarek is? Tom Zarek would never do that. The council was the one body, the one group of people that supported him. And honestly, he, you know, when you come to a coup, and I thought about this, talk about morally conflicted situations where we have to kind of look at ourselves and say, what would I do? And I thought, you know, whether it's the admiral or whether it's the president, how many of us could kill somebody, rightfully or wrongfully maybe in the end, but thinking that you could save people, right? Would you be willing to kill people? Could you kill people? Could you actually do that? Could you make that decision? If you had to shoot somebody, because in your mind, in your heart, your soul, you felt you had to do that right now, right? Could you do it? You have that moral fiber, that strength to see the larger picture and do that. And I honestly, in that moment, because I'd never been quite in that moment before, I really got a hit on what leaders, what generals, what, you know, corporals, captains, people that are leading men into battle, where they're having to make decisions like that. And honestly, I struggled with that scene, I really did. And finally they changed it to where the council was against me. And in a coup, which is an extreme remedy, when, you know, democracy has been lost and you're making a decision for the greater good, you know, to have to go to that length to be able to do that. And I think the only thing, I mean, obviously with Tom Zarek, he had lost everybody he ever loved. He had paid the ultimate price for trying to stand up against, you know, a suppressive government. And here he was in another, you know, situation where democracy was going left or right. And the truth is, in a post-apocalyptic type of thing or a 9/11 circumstance, good people end up doing bad things for so-called good reasons. Why? Because we all think we know what's right or what's best for people, right? And sometimes in those kind of situations where we get scared and nervous and turn our power over to governments will drift left or right and become dictatorial, right? And my thought is, you know, is a democracy expedient? Can you suspend it conveniently because in this moment it doesn't work? I mean, the question is, for me, it either works or it doesn't work. You either support it, believe in it, or you don't. And so in that situation for me, I was forced to have to do something for me as Tom Zarek, killing my best friend. I mean, could you kill your child if that literally was going to save 10 other people? Could you? So I really got a strong, powerful, emotional hit on what it takes to be a true leader, you know? And that's kind of and I have to be honest, I've never been in that situation ever in life. But the question is, you know, you ask yourself, would I show up? What would I do? What decision, could I make that decision? Anyway, that was a powerful thing for me. And I finally got through it thanks to Michelangelo's, who, we had a great producer, writer, director team that would collaborate together in a way I've never seen on any show. And ultimately, we would all sit there and try to find the best way to play that scene. And I was fighting because I was almost angry at Gata, you know, angry that, hey, didn't we make a deal? Didn't I tell you people would die? Didn't I tell you if you go to this measure, if you go to this extreme measure because you believe it's right to save people, you got to be willing to take out whoever is against you. Can you do that? And then all of a sudden, you know, he wants to do the whole trial, he wants to do all this stuff, and then he walks in there and sees all these people, you know, dead, and he's all upset, and it was like, you mother fracker, do you understand? You know, I'm going to shake him like this, and Michael can't even go. Richard goes, just say the words. just say the words, you know. And that was really, because I was trying to find this connection to get through that scene, you know, pissed off your mother. And I have to just look at him in the eye and just say the words. And I did that. And it was, because I trusted Michael on that. And I did it. And it actually was the best way to go in that scene. To just come to terms with it, embrace it, be present, say the words, and boom. And so anyway, I got through that scene, and you know, it was a very powerful scene for me.
Okay, we are out of time. Before we go, Mr. Olmos, can you lead us in a round of a rousing chorus of "So Say We All"?
You know, where you're about to go. It was not scripted. It was not the situation that you're about to understand, which you saw in the very first episode of the pilot. It was the very first scene that we all shot together. We weren't there yet, but it was an amazing, amazing experience. And the reason it was so amazing is because nobody knew it was coming. And therefore, when I said, "So say we all," you all said it, but at the beginning only a couple said it. So say we all.
So say we all.
So say we